My project is comparing the ad campaigns of Diet Coke and Coke Zero. Using Croteau and Hoynes' Goldman, Heath, and Smith commodity feminism, we will explain and examine the implications of Diet Coke ads to appeal to women, while Coke Zero ads just to men. Women are given strong, independent figures to look up to, while men chase after ideas of masculinity and dominance over women. The difference in the respected gender ads show the stark contrast in ideals between them and the extent to which society will go to keep common ideologies about genders from changing, and why that's important. First, a few terms must be defined. The minimal from terms being used from Croteau and Hoynes are the minimum effects model the minimum effects model, or how media messages act to reinforce existing belief, not to change opinion. Hegemony are ruling groups that maintain power through force, consent, or a combination of the two. And ideology is a system of beliefs, Ideology is a system of values, beliefs, and the way in which we see the world and how they benefit us. Social construction of reality is a concept that while reality exists, we must negotiate the meaning of that reality. And the article Commodity Feminism. The article Commodity Feminism gives us commodity feminism means that feminism is redefined through commodities, reduced to a status of signifier or signified, worn as a stylish sign. Also, self-fetishization, or attempts to reclaim the female body as a site for women's own pleasure and as a resource for her power in the broader marketplace or desire. Also, self-fetishization, or attempts to reclaim the female's body as a site for women's own pleasure and as a resource of her power in a broader marketplace of desire than marriage. Through Diet Coke ads, Coke appeals to women by using feminism to give them a sense of self. Through their Diet Coke ads, Coke appeals to women by using feminism to give them a sense of self-worth. The first ad displays a group of around 20 women in knee-length red dresses and heels. Having no men in this campaign expresses the idea of woman power. This power is also granted to women through self-fetishization. The women displayed are portrayed as being sexy without becoming sexual objects. Here, feminism is seen as a commodity, or worn as a stylish sign. The slogan used forces the correlation between drinking Diet Coke and making a statement of being a strong, independent woman. This independence garnered from the ad also allows women to gain self-esteem while looking good by drinking Coke. The other Diet Coke ad uses the zones of consumption to both relate to all women and show independence. The arch of her back in this context shows confidence instead of degrading her to a sexual object. The way her head is turned away hides her presumed beauty, allowing the common woman to relate to her. Her lack of jewelry while wearing an outfit commonly associated with diamonds adds to that idea that any woman could be like her. The plain bracelet around her wrist draws attention to the zones of consumption. From her elongated neck to her intricate hairdo, her appearance visually signifies her femininity. While the bottle next to her could potentially represent a man, her stance, body language, and relation to it still displays her independence. It also highlights the curves of the woman. This ad causes women to see themselves as empowered through the perceived strengths of this woman. The first Coke Zero ad that we will examine promotes male dominance and uses the male glance to degrade women. The giant bottle of Coke represents a man standing tall in the center of attention above the surrounding women. The women in the center area are seen to be grinding up against the man. From the arch of their backs, the position of their hands, to styling of their hair, they are seen as being sexual objects. The clothing and positioning of the women on the sides resemble strippers on poles. This assumed profession allows the viewer to imagine that they are solely for the man's pleasure, it being their job. The slogan gives the impression that men should dominate women and have many sexual partners. The second Coke Zero ad uses normalcy to appeal to the ideal masculinity for men. Whoa. The second Coke ad uses normalcy to appeal to the ideal masculinity for men. For the most part, they are wearing sports gear, though one is holding a basketball. Interweaving sports so heavily in their ad, Coke uses the connection of sports and masculinity to appeal to men. The facial expressions and body language of the men show them to be upset or nervous for the game, with the bottle of Coke in their hand to hopefully comfort them. The way they are situated forces the spectator positioning to appear as though they are watching the viewer and cheering them on to choose Coke. One of the men's whole body is shown, but even then his legs are bent in a way that causes the focus to be on his midsection and up, correlating to the way that men are usually portrayed. The absence of women in the ad gives the impression that Coke Zero is a manly thing to drink, and that doing so will lead to male bonding and enhance masculinity. Diet Coke portrays feminism in a positive light, which allows women to relate, look up to, and want to be strong, independent women. Coke Zero, on the other hand, relates to men by using the male glaze to appeal to their masculinity and support the view of male dominance. The drastically different ad campaigns uncover women's secret desire to follow the socially condemned feminist image. Also, why the men are not able to handle diet drink until it is stripped of any female empowerment and given a new name and packaging shows the degree to which men are afraid of losing their masculinity and the power that comes with it. Alright, thank you!